Hey guys, so a few days ago I did a video on the Clone Wars Comic-Con trailer, and I was going to talk about the DCTV shows too, but it would be too long otherwise. I was also going to talk about everything on Teach Tuesday, but I don't think that show was received as well as I hoped, and I may bring it back at some point later on, but as for right now, we're just going to talk about these shows over some Injustice gameplay. So the CW shows are probably the most popular when it comes to DCTV, so we're going to start with that. I don't watch Supergirl, Legends, or Black Lightning, so I can't comment much on that, but I have seen some of the new trailers, and I kind of get the gist of what's happening. But we'll first talk about the ones I do watch, or at least did. I know some of you will agree, others will disagree, but I feel like The Flash and Arrow was so great when they first started, and each one after the second season just kept spiraling down. I don't want to get into details of why I dislike these shows now, because it would make this video longer than it needs to be, and it will be covered in a video I'm planning to do in the future, perhaps maybe in a couple of months. But the trailers for both of these shows, at least these two, it shows like a brand new storyline that's going to be more challenging than the last. The villain's going to be more challenging than the last, as well as a more fresh storyline than the last, but that never was really the case. It just seems like it's the same played out narrative with the same formulas over and over, because if you watch some of their previous trailers from the previous years, they just do the same thing. They make it seem like it's something new, and then it's not. It's just the same formula over and over again. And what I mean by that is, like, it will be like where a new threat appears in the season that shouldn't be as challenging as before, or it sometimes is, but it's challenging in a different way, right? Like in a way that you wouldn't expect. But then it gets to the point where the main character he can handle it. He thinks he can handle it, but then he realizes he can't because the villain reveals some kind of truth about him, or they defeat him in some way, and so after that they realize that they can't actually tackle them, and they spend the rest of the season kind of in conflict with the rest of the team and doubting themselves whether they can or cannot do it, until they come up with some really convenient explanation as to how they can defeat them, right? And then they kind of, by the end of the season, oh yeah, it's all dealt with in some way or another. And the thing is, with these shows, they try to make it seem like it's something new by curating the clips in such a way that shows that they are more powerful and can handle it this time. But, like, for example, Kara, she has a new suit, which looks like the one from this game, and it just shows that she's way more powerful, way more ready to go get into action and whatever, and she can actually handle these new villains. And then with Cicada, the one in Flash, like, it shows that he's really going to be able to take down the Flash really easily, and he probably can in the comics and whatever, but it just doesn't seem any different to the previous seasons, and I feel like it's just going to be the same kind of formula they're going to be using over and over again. Now, I know people will tell me to give it a chance, but I've been giving these shows way too many chances for far too long. However, I feel like as soon as I stopped watching, which I already did, but like that was closer to the end of the season, so I mean, you can't really say, but like I feel like this season I'm not gonna watch, but then all of a sudden it's gonna pick up, right? And I guess what, I even watched some of Gotham back then too, and it was I mean, it was good at some points, but I mean, it got really stupid at others. But of course, you know, I wouldn't really have much to do during these times, right? And I just watch it anyway. But it just continuously got more and more stupid, each one of these shows, right? And just overplayed, and just did something with the characters that would amalgamate them in such a way that wouldn't make any sense. And it would take what I love from the comics and kind of destroy it and change it to the point where it's not even the same anymore at all. But yeah, another show that I definitely will have a hard time giving a chance to is Titans. And I know that some of their costumes will change some point during the show, but this trailer kind of does the opposite of what CW trailers do, because it shows nothing promising. In fact, all of their costumes, apart from maybe Robin, were so bad that a lot of people, including my brother, were unable to immediately recognize who they were supposed to be. I mean, this is a trailer. It's supposed to get you to want to watch it, not be put off by it. And I don't know. I'm kind of done with a lot of these shows, these live action ones, and I feel like they could do a much better job, but they're just kind of catering to the wrong type of fan service. But I don't want to get too much into this, because I will talk about this whole thing in another video, which I said earlier, going into detail and very specific things. But as for right now, let's talk about a show that I'm actually really excited for, which is Young Justice. Right? I'm really like the show immediately as soon as that started. Right? It took me by storm, and everything about that show was just so fun to watch, and all the animated DC stuff. Right? From the animated movies, the animated movies in the series, and even their comics and video games, like all of that stuff, all their narratives based on that, right? They're always such like their quality is always so great, and I love everything about them. Well, I'm not gonna say there are a few things that I don't like here and there, like some shows, or some things, but not everything's great, I will say. But most of their content in terms of their animated stuff and their comics and their games, they're amazing. But yeah, so going back to what I was talking about with Young Justice, as far as the trailer for season 3 goes, it didn't really excite me as much as I hoped, but that's probably because they already have so many people hyped for its return anyway, and they didn't really need to do much to get people excited for it. Also, they mostly showed a recap of the first 2 seasons, which could be because they want to avoid spoilers as much as they can, especially because it's set after the death of Wally West. Spoilers, by the way. But a lot of people will say that, you know what, he's probably going to come back. There's loads of theories on that, so I'm really excited for that anyway. And nonetheless, I'm just really pumped for it. I just hope that it doesn't end up being something really disappointing and something that it's what I'm expecting. Same thing with Clone Wars. It's like I hope it's not something where it was great at one point and then all of a sudden, because there's so much demand for it and so much hype for it, they kind of stop trying and they don't give you they don't put 100% into it or 110% into it, and they just kind of give you a kind of half decent maybe version of it, just kind of doing that. And I feel like a lot of shows, a lot of things, they always start off great, and then when they have a huge following for it, then they just kind of die down a little bit, right? Or even a lot at some points, depending on how far they will go. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned right now, I'm really excited for it, and I might give some of the other shows a chance again, maybe. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts and opinions are. Do you agree with me? Disagree? And until next time, I hope to see you guys soon.